Welcome to the LEAP Conference 2016.
Hi, my name is Dennis Aguma. I'm the founder and chief executive of the National Association of Student Enterprises. This is a social enterprise that champions student and graduate entrepreneurship amongst higher education institutions in Uganda. With support from Kingston University London, we launched at Fairway Hotel in December 2015 with one of our major events, the LEAP Conference, which started as a small event with around 200 budding entrepreneurs, but has since mushroomed to be one of Uganda's most premier events, certainly in terms of enterprise and entrepreneurship, focusing on young people, the youth, and specifically students. Last year's LEAP Conference was one big, massive event. It took place on 26th to the 27th of August. It's a two-day event. We had over 400 enterprising students from around 15 different universities, and the event took place at Makerere University's main hall. But really the day kicked off with some icebreakers, some intros, simple things that you didn't think would actually mean a lot, like eye contact, how to do a proper handshake. So some soft kind of skills which was delivered by myself. We also had a welcome note from Professor Ernest Okello-Ogwang from Makerere University. I delivered a plenary session that took students along the journey of entrepreneurship based on the letter of the alphabet from A to Z. But one of the key things we delved into was social entrepreneurship. We believe very strongly that all businesses really exist to solve problems. And in countries like in Uganda, where perhaps some people might perceive cities like Kampala to be a bit chaotic, therein lies most of the opportunities. So our focus and the theme was to find ideas. How do you generate an idea? Where do business ideas come from? And Leo Hinges of another social enterprise that we worked with called United delivered a very interesting session on how you can actually come up with business ideas. That was taken over by Ben Mwine from KFM, who did a session. Over 400 of us identified Kampala's 10 biggest problems, and it is from those problems that the ideas that were generated, the businesses were generated from that day came from. And we also were very blessed with my friend Dixon Mushabe of Hostelite, who reinvigorated in his usual charismatic way and gave some very powerful nuggets on how you move from just an idea to a business, a formidable business model, canvas. This was done by Brian Aguma, Nicholas Kamanzi. Brian Aguma works with our partners, the Resilient African Network, who are one of the co-sponsors for the event, and will also be the co-sponsors for the 2017 LEAP Conference. Nicholas Kamanzi is from Africa's Talking. Both of them delivered the business model canvas and took the idea and mapped it against the business model canvas. So you're looking at the costs, you're looking at your value proposition, you're looking at the cash flow side of things, you're looking at very many other aspects of what actually makes a real business. Then after that, we had a masterclass in personal branding, especially focused on the millennials. Again, this was delivered by my friend Michael Nitejeka. Michael did a very brilliant job on personal branding, things you take for granted, the kind of posts you post on your Facebook page and you don't think that anyone is actually watching. That is actually being part of your branding. People perceive you even before you know it. And Michael was able to, particularly for young people, to highlight that and talk about the powerful effects of things like platforms like LinkedIn from a professional point of view. So that was day one. Day two really took us into the, we call this where the rubber hits the road. And I started by raking up from what had happened the day before, but we had a very interesting stakeholder panel that was moderated by Richard Zulu. Those who know the startup space in Uganda will know how influential he is. But we had on that panel members from KICS, that's the Ministry of Finance. We had people from the Resilient African Network, Registration Services Bureau. We had Dr. Abaho from Makerere University Business School. Centenary Bank was also represented, among others. This panel was particularly focused on looking at the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Uganda, looking at different stakeholders and what they bring on board. So it was a very interesting panel that looked at the entire ecosystem, and I found it very informative. We then had a breakout session. We had a huge number of mentors that included our colleagues from Resilient Africa Network, among others, and different students were set up in different groups based on the information they already had, working through the business model canvas, having been equipped with all the branding aspects. Now that their businesses were getting to a stage where you can actually now start pitching the idea, because you know what the problem is that you're trying to solve, you know the value proposition that you're bringing together, you're looking at the costs of the business, you're looking at the revenue streams, you essentially have a business idea and you can now pitch to Toro Orero. Toro is the managing director of Draper Dark Flow. These are our friends from the Silicon Valley, but they have a huge interest in investing in African startups. And Toro and his team had very kindly offered $10,000 worth of seed investment, and all these young budding entrepreneurs couldn't wait to pitch to him for a chance to win the $10,000. So this session was actually very interesting. Students had about 5 minutes to make a proper pitch, but suffice to say they went through it perfectly. We finished actually on time. The winners that won was Tim Musau, who designed a mobile phone application that works mainly with healthcare professionals, whether it's clinics and doctors. I know that they've gone on to do greater things, and with incubation support from our partners Resilient Africa Network and obviously the seed investment, we hope to see them do even much. These are the kind of things that we're very passionate about, identifying students who are very passionate about enterprise and entrepreneurship, but creating a platform for them to take the leap, which is where the name LEAP Conference comes from. So the day ended on a very high note, with the winners being obviously awarded the prize. We had also worked with the Resilient Africa Network to offer incubation support in terms of office space, free internet, among others. Going forward, we are focusing on this becoming much bigger, perhaps attracting much more financial investment. One of the things we're looking at is having a brick fund, a fund worth in the region of $1 million. We've been very fortunate. We have a lot of experience from Kingston University in London, as well as the University of Surrey. We hope to tap into the world's best business incubator, Set Squared, among others. So we're looking at the entire ecosystem and trying to establish a system of support that can empower these young people so that they can start their own successful business. Our dream is to see the next Mark Zuckerberg come from Kampala, or Kabale for that matter. And why not? We can do it. Other countries are doing it. Why not? We also had a chance to interview a number of the delegates, some of the student and graduate entrepreneurs themselves, and this is what they had to say.
Yes, my name is Kalema Ernest. I attended this conference because I am an upcoming entrepreneur and I wanted to get more skills and exposure to the world of entrepreneurship. This is a very enriching conference. I would really advise someone to come to the LEAP conference, because for those, for people out there who are actually looking for employment, it gives you another perspective of life, another route which you can take, which is entrepreneurship. So I said the content is very enriching and the agenda was on point. And one thing I liked about it was the timekeeping. It was on point.
I want to speak to the government of Uganda that what NESA has done, what is doing, is the way to go. And I call upon all different partners. We are looking at the youth, who are the future of tomorrow, the future of today and tomorrow. If we get more organizations that can come on board, provide seed money. As a bank, we don't provide seed money, but we can manage the fund for them. So I'm calling upon other organizations to partner up with Central Bank to support the cause.
The branding session, I enjoyed that the most, I should say. Yes, the conference did actually meet my expectations, because actually that goes to show me that when you're doing something, you have to be better than you were the first time. The LEAP conference 2016 has far beaten 2015. It has been better than 2015. So I know 2017 actually is better than that. As an entrepreneur, goes to show me that whenever I'm doing something, I have to make sure that I'm always better than I was.
My name is Mkwase Andrew, and I attended to first of all to pitch my project. The impression is that there was a lot of information sharing and mentorship as far as business model canvas is concerned. The quality of the content, it was varied and it was of high quality, because in this we came to know that we could even really come up with ideas in the shortest.
As a bank, our strategy going forward is to have 60% of our customer base within the age bracket of the young. What are we doing today? We have special packages made for the young. We have training sessions, we have clinics, we have workshops with the support from the International Labour Organization aimed at supporting changing the mindset of the youth, create products designed for the youth, as you heard me say, talk about the youth fund with the partnership of the government of Uganda. We are doing a lot of mentorship, a lot of trainings with the other organizations which are youth skilled.
The agenda was relevant in a way that it was focusing on the young people, and the content was made in a way suit the young people so that we were able to start from zero level to something.
Visit our website, nase.co.ug, for more information and updates about this upcoming conference in 2017 and other events that we're doing. Follow us on social media, on our Twitter, on our Facebook and LinkedIn. Drop us an email. By any means necessary, please do get in touch. And hopefully we'll see you at the next LEAP conference. Thank you very much.